I'm Maria Montunrayo Adebisi, and I'm the author of KòkúÀkànbí and the Heart of Midnight. I'm going to read a passage from chapter 33. Seeing Taiwo's memories made me feel bad, because it's not like I checked with him first or nothing, but I had to. It was the only way to figure out his weakness. In the blink of an eye, I saw his most important memories. His mother getting the twin dolls as a gift from the Araba when the twins were born. And then there were brief snippets of the twins growing up, their constant bickering, mainly about Taiwo being jealous of his twin and her retaliating by flicking his earlobes. It finally made sense, that hazy memory I always had of a kid that kept irritating me and messing about with my ears. "Is that kind, eh?" I said, not realizing I was speaking aloud. Next thing I knew, Taiwo's fist was right in my face. Lying on my back, my head spinning, I opened my eyes and saw a purple-black figure standing over me, blinking in and out of existence. The Abiku had stopped Taiwo from carving a new face onto mine. It had giant black eyes and a wide, gummy smile. It was the one that had been following me around the whole time. It did a weird thing where it flicked on my ears, like it was its way of saying hello. Taiwo saw it too. The Abiku started to morph. Its paint faded away, revealing skin that was glossy and smooth. A random Ute materialized, wearing purple Angora. There was no doubt about it. "Kainde," he breathed her name. Kainde clicked around herself in confusion. She may have been a normal kid once, but she was an Abiku now. The dark vein sank back into Taiwo's skin and his eyes returned to normal. Kainde spread tiny fingers over Taiwo's face. It was wet with silvery tears. She clicked rapidly like she was trying to tell him something. Then she went all misty and blurry before she started fading away. Now I finally knew what that clicking noise meant. Goodbye. Taiwo opened his mouth to say something, but it was too late. His sister had gone. Moremi used the last of her strength to pull me away with a braid as a blinding light burst from Taiwo's side. He had showed emotion. The sword would have its reward. Taiwo pulled out the Ogun sword and it ignited immediately. A giant force field spewing out of the shimmering metal and surrounded him in a prism of light. The ground quaked under our feet. Taiwo let out a gut-wrenching cry as the light struck him. It sounded like he was being burnt alive. First, the hand holding the sword ignited. Then he started breaking away piece by piece. "Kainde never left you, Taiwo. She was only trying to protect me," I shouted to him. "Protect you!" Taiwo's voice was steady, even as his own sword turned his body to dust, ravaging his body before getting sucked into the shining metal. I was supposed to be the one to protect her. His armor clanged against the floor. Taiwo had gone. There wasn't a second to waste. I acted on instinct. A sharp jolt electrocuted my fingertips as I grabbed the two halves of the nightstone and slotted them together. Up close it had a salty, earthy smell to it like the sea. Am I really worthy of the nightstone? Yeah, sure, my ancestors may have been able to use it in the past, and I wasn't from these parts. I was an outsider, but I had a connection that went beyond my upbringing. It was spiritual. I started thinking about all the stuff that Araba had said about the emotional core of Olokun. Death, mourning, grief, my mother, and now the Araba. Then there was my father, the demon who wasn't dead but trapped. We'd never had a chance to spend proper time together. They were all important losses, but they weren't exactly negative. They were still a part of me. Like the Araba taught me, I was finally beginning to understand something that was bigger than me, the connecting thread in all of our lives. This was the land of origins where the world began. There was sky inside us, earth inside us, night inside us. I emptied my mind and focused on the truth inside me. I guess I must have done something right, because the nightstone started waking up. It started with a tiny dot of blue light, and then a whole load of colours burst in front of my eyes, magnetic purples, electrifying reds, and fiery oranges, until my eyes were flooded with black, blacker than black, and it was strangely comforting. Kòkú. 1,000 voices echoed my name, but one stood out from the rest. It had a gentle melody to it that I recognized instantly. Iyami. I responded to the call in Yoruba. I felt a warm, solid touch. A hand in mine. I could finally see her, my mother, Omo mi owon. Her voice soothed me instantly. Her smile was just as radiant as in my photo. Her twists piled on top of her head like a never-ending stream. "The nightstone is your birthright. The heart of Olokun beats inside you," she said as ghostly forms started appearing before me. Majestic-looking mandem in blue Angora print took shape before my eyes. They proudly wore the symbol of Olokun around their necks. I saw everyone who had ever touched the nightstone. I could even peep the exact moment my parents touched it. My mum with trembling, worshipful fingers. My dad with the confident grip of someone who'd lived 100 lifetimes. And then I saw further into the darkness, before the beginning of time. Just for a millisecond, I glimpsed an impressive figure, constellations in her indigo eyes, wrinkles like the path of a winding stream. Kòkúàkànbí. I pressed my chest to the floor in the Dobale pose as soon as she called my name. I didn't know what I was supposed to say to the goddess, but I figured bowing was a good place to start. "Child of Olokun and son of Legba, Blood of my blood, Iwo Loye, you are worthy.